Hello, good afternoon. This is Sharon from Everything Beautiful. Today we'll be doing something different. I'll be doing a flare bottom skirt, and this is a miniature, okay, a little diagram of the skirt that I'm doing. Actually, this part is cut off from the top part. So here's what it's looking like. Simple, easy, flared bottom skirt, and I hope you'll be inspired to try this. I did not sew the band. I just put the band there. I did not sew anything there except I joined the back and the darts. So no need to really finish it, but at least I want you to have an idea of what it's looking like, and this is what it's looking like. So happy sewing, and see you in the next video. First, you're going to need two basic measurements: the length of your skirt and your hip measurement. You don't need a waist measurement because this skirt has elasticized waist. Okay, so you're going to measure the hip measurement, and that is 7 inches or so from your waist, and you're going to measure from your waist to above your knee. Okay, the next step is, once you do that, you're going to get your fabric and you're going to fold it in two like this. Next step is that you're going to fold off 1 inch at the back. So this is the only seam it has. This doesn't have any side seams. Okay, just the seam, no zipper, but this is the center back. So you're going to fold it off and we're going to stitch this. Next step is to fold the fabric. So here is the front, here is the back, and this is the side. So let me notch it for the sides. Okay, so that will indicate where the side, both sides are. So you fold it. Next step is to put in our darts. Next step, from the center front, you are going to put in your dart. So here is the center front, here is the side seam. Remember, this is the back and this is the front. How do you get your bust? How do you get your dart measurement? You actually measure from one nipple point to the other nipple, and it's actually called the apex. So if your nipple from one nipple point to the other is 8 inches, you will actually be using half of it, which is 4 inches, since we're working on half of the fabric. So from the center front here, you're going to measure off your 4 inches, and that's about that. Okay, next step would be, now I don't expect you to maybe use pen and be drawing on your fabric, but of course I can do that. I'm just doing a video. So you want to measure from the top here 4.5 inches down, and it all depends on your height also. That will be your dart measurement. So from top to bottom, straight down, and that will be your dart measurement. So use 4.5. Half inch would be the allowance to stitch in for the waistband. Okay, the next step is, we have enough fabric here, because remember, we do not have a specific measurement for the waist. So what you're going to be doing is take away 1 inch from the waist, and you're going to use that 1 inch as your dart. So you're going to add half inch to both sides. So here we have half inch, and this side we have another half inch. Okay, and we do that on both sides, and then what we do, we draw a line from top to bottom, looks like an arrow, and that is your dart, and you do this too. So as you can see, we have our skirt here, and I made a little mistake with the dart, so I had to push it back a little bit. I'm just doing a miniature, so I was not that accurate. But for your bust measurement, your bust dart or your skirt dart, whichever, you're just going to use your apex, which is bust point to bust point, and from the center here, you're going to find the half of it, and you're going to measure from here away from the center, and that you're going to mark there. Then you're going to do it a little further down where the 4.5 is. You're going to mark that straight line, and that's how you're going to get your dart. So if you can remember what we did, we actually measure from the waist to above the knee for the upper part of the skirt. So say for instance the full length is 27 inches and you want to use 17 inches. So from the waist to above your knee 17 inches, you would cut it there, and after you cut it there, the 10 inches that is left, you would use that for the circular part of the skirt, which is also the bottom part of the skirt. So let me show you the next step. Measure here the width of the skirt, okay, and I have 7.5 inches there. So whatever the hip is, you can use the same measurement, because remember it was straight, come down, we didn't shape it or anything. So whatever you have here, okay, that's 7.5, so right around would be 15 inches. So you're going to take that 15 inches and you're going to measure. You're going to find the half of the 15. You're just going to use one piece of paper pattern. So you're going to find the half of the 15 inches, and there we have 7.5. Okay, that is 7.5. And what you're going to do, you're going to fold it in two, and when you fold it in two, you're going to give it some slits and ensure that your slits are pretty even, so right along like there. After you've slit it, this is what it would be looking like, and this is the center. Okay, so remember it's like that. You're going to slit all of it, open it up, and then we're going to have the center, and here is the center, and I'm going to number this 1 and 2. And what I've done here, I actually done some split and spread, okay, and this can be used mainly if you don't have enough fabric, because there's another way to cut it, and I'm going to show you. But if you don't have enough fabric and you only can cut it this way, I remember when I was at school, one of my students was trying to cut one for her graduation suit, and she was having a big challenge because she didn't have any enough fabric, and this was how I showed her to cut it. Another thing you want to ensure is that the space in between is pretty even, so you want to slit to the top as much as possible, but still keep them connected, attached, okay, and try to ensure that the space in between is pretty even. And the reason for that, you doesn't want when you put it on, you have, you know, some part flaring, having too much flare, and some part doesn't, okay. So you want to be measuring like that to ensure that the spaces in between are pretty even, okay. So I will cut this here. Now this is going to be attached to the bottom here, so the only thing you're supposed to do is maybe add a little allowance of 1/2 inch on both sides, which would be to give it an extra 1 inch when you're cutting it, okay. But you want to keep the measurement close to whatever you got at the bottom here. All right, so let me cut this and show you the next step. So now that I've cut it, this is what it's looking like. So I'm going to take this away, and here it is. That's what it's going to be, okay. So we will now attach it to the bottom of our skirt. So this is the skirt, and we will join the sides, both sides, and attach it to the bottom of the skirt, and that's what our skirt will be looking like. So the next step will be the waistband. So you want to take the full measurement of the waist from the back right around, come back to here and go right around to the back, and let us see what we have here. We have 7 inches, so this is going to be 14 inches plus 1/2 inch for stitching, and you're going to stitch right along here. So when you're through, you're gonna have a little tube. Okay, so let me join this and then show you the next step. The waistband. So I've stitched the opening there and closed it, and I've just folded it like this in two, and this is what it looks like. I've also notched it to indicate where the center front is, so you can pin that, and this here is also for the center back, and this is how you're going to place it. Also, if you can put in your elastic before, that would be good, but if you can't manage to put in your elastic before, what you do, you just measure your waist, the size on the waist, measure it until you're comfortable with where the length of the elastic should be, and then you can just push it in and stitch this right around. Also, what you can do, you can just stitch this right around, come back to the front of it, and leave a little opening here, just a 1-inch opening, and when you're finished stitching, you put in your elastic, you insert your elastic, and you close that little opening, stitch it again, and then after that you can just serge or zigzag here, and that will be your skirt. Now I have to show you another way here. So say for instance the bottom here is 28 inches. Now I'm going to use an adult measurement. I'm not going to use the 15.5, which is for the miniature. So say for instance the bottom here gives you 28 inches. So you know the front is 14 and the back is 14. But half of the 14 is 7. So here's going to be 7, 7, 7, 7. And 4 sevens is 28 inches. So you get your fabric or your paper, whatever you're going to use to cut your pattern, and you're going to fold it once and fold it again, and here we have 4 layers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we want 28 inches. Next thing, you're going to say, okay, I need 28 inches. So what can I multiply by 4 to get 24 inches? To get 28 inches, I'm sorry. So you're going to measure like that until you say, okay, 4 sevens. It's not 4 sixes is 24. No, it is 4 sevens, 28. So you're going to mark around until you get the 7 inches. Okay? And you're going to cut that away. All right, and now you are going to, remember we are using 10 inches for the bottom. You're going to mark that right around. Okay, mark that right around, and you're going to cut that. So you have the length now, and you have, so this is what will go to the bottom of the skirt, and it doesn't have an opening. Okay, so this is